And welcome back to the Northeast Florida surf fishing forecast for the last weekend in February. Onward to March, guys. This video was shot in Ponte Vedra Beach late Thursday afternoon. We have awesome water. After this little clip, I have another little clip explaining the sandbar that I'm fishing. The last few days, that's where all the whiting have been. They have not been in the slough. They've been on top of the sandbar about 3 hours into the incoming tide. And we'll talk about the tides as well after the next video, because we have some serious negative low tides and they've been low all week, and it really does affect the fishing, especially with all the critters in the surf that are chasing our whiting, the dolphins and the sharks. Plenty of dolphins around, guys.
So this is the area I'm fishing. Out there where that wave just came up is the sandbar. And then the trough, and then the beach. Normally, on the regular tides, they're hitting in that trough. But with these negative low tides, that's not the case. Now, as soon as this wave clears, you'll be able to see where the sandbar is. It runs sort of hard to see, but there's a lot of whitewash. That area there is where I've been catching all the fish the last couple of days. So if you're on the beach, look for this area, mainly for negative low tides. And you look to the north, there's a huge sandbar down there. See all the white? That's a nice sandbar, but it's awfully close to the beach, so you're going to need to wait quite a while for it to fill in. But right here, it's perfect. About 60 yards out, and they were chewing on it yesterday, so we'll see what happens today, guys. Here goes the sandbar right there, right where the wave just broke, sandbar. All of that, and it runs pretty much this entire length. The spot I'm at is a little bit deeper on the sandbar, so that's why I set up right here. Hope that helps.
We had these negative low tides a few weeks ago as well, and I found out that the whiting did the same thing then. On the outgoing tide, the water just went out so fast that the normal outgoing bite, which had been good for the last month or so, was non-existent, just a few fish. And so what I did is come back in the afternoon 2 weeks ago. I fished in the morning for about 30 minutes, caught 2 fish, tide backed out extremely fast. So I said, let me try it in the afternoon. So I came back about 2.5, 3 hours into the incoming, throwing on the sandbar and wore the whiting out. So yesterday, the same thing. Actually went down and looked in the morning, and water was clean. This is Wednesday. However, it was 3 hours before low tide. It was already extremely low. Not to mention, there were dolphins absolutely everywhere. And I keep hearing that from a lot of people. The dolphins, guys, when they get into an area, they will shut down the fishing in a hurry. And same thing Thursday afternoon. There were dolphins and sharks, black tips and bonnetheads. So a lot of water activity going on right now, and it really does cause the whiting to be finicky. They did bite Thursday afternoon for me. I ended up catching 18, had about 10 or 12 fish that came off at my feet because they are hitting so light. They're just barely hitting it. You got to pay attention, and they're getting lip hooked. And it's just a lot of different factors right now. You got a full moon. You got dolphins and sharks chasing after them. And you got these negative low tides. So once we get out of this little stretch of the negative lows, it'll go back to normal, and the sloughs should be filled with whiting again. There are some nice ones. I had a couple of over 15s, a lot of 13 and 14 inch whitings. Had one Wednesday afternoon, every bit of 17, 18 inches, come off right as I was about to get it up on the sand. And I guess I need to start carrying a little dip net so I can run and chase them if I can catch them. But the next few days, guys, same thing. We got some west winds on Friday in the morning, 5 to 7, switching over to the southeast, 8 to 10. Same thing again on, Saturday, south in the morning, 5 to 6, switching to the southeast about 10. Then on Sunday, they're calling for south 10 to 15 in the morning, switching to the southeast 5 to 10. So let's hope that south wind actually doesn't blow 15, but stays about 5 to 6, so it'll stay clean. The water's extremely nice. Check out the tides at the end of the video. If you're gonna fish in the morning, you need to go early. You wanna get there as high, when the tide's as high as possible, because if you get there about 3 hours into outgoing, you'll be amazed how fast it goes out. Over the weekend, we got some 0.8 low tides, which means, if you don't know, very low. It's gonna be extremely low. So with that being said, now would be a good time to go down to the beach at low tide in your favorite area you like to fish, and look for the sloughs and the runouts. We've talked about a beach walkthrough, and I can't do it this Saturday, and I'll not next Saturday, but we're looking at tentatively, barring any setbacks, the second week in March, guys. We'll try to do it Saturday morning. I'm gonna probably scout the beaches so I can tell you where to meet. I wanna have some areas that are well-defined, so for everyone new to surf fishing, it'll be easy to point out. And then we'll show you the sandbars and just talk about that, because a lot of times you always, when you go to the surf, you want to try 3 different things, at least for me: the sloughs, the sandbars, and the runouts. They're not all the same thing. The trough or slough that runs down the beach, that's there at low tide. High tide, a lot of times you can't really reach it, so at high tide you look for the runouts that are formed from the water pulling back out. And then the sandbars, like I said, they really seem to be effective when we have these negative lows. I really think because it gets so low, these whiting really get pushed out a little bit further, so as the tide comes in, they just congregate on that sandbar. And I also think that's why the dolphins are around. I was talking to my buddy Joshua. It's just how my brain works. These dolphins with these negative low, these whiting are getting pushed out past the sandbar. So dolphins can go pretty shallow, but they tend to stay out past that sandbar most of the time. So all these whiting, because the tide's going out so far, they're getting sucked. They're swimming out there, and those dolphins are having a field day. Wednesday, there's a few of them actually surfing the waves, so they're better fishermen than I'll ever be, so I'll give them that. But anyways, next 3 days should be some fish caught. Fresh shrimp. I'm still soaking them in Diet Pepsi. The salmon colored bead and the light yellow colored bead are the beads that are working the best. I did hear some pompano around the Kansas Inlet. Just a few. Water's still cold, so you got a few pushing north. The water temperature down in Melbourne is like 72, 73. So like we talked about in our water temp video, the faster it warms up down south, it'll actually push the fish north a little bit sooner than they might want to come. So water might be 65 here in 2 weeks, and we might start catching pompano if the water down south warms up really fast, because they still like to stay out of that 75, 76 degree range. So we'll see what happens. We do got a northeaster coming up. We got the whiting tournament coming up on Tuesday, and as you would know it, they're calling for northeast winds up to 20 to 25 miles an hour with 7-foot seas. So for all of us who want to fish it, let's hope it's only northeast about 10 and everyone catches a boatload of fish, or I should say cooler load, because I fish from the surf. But anyways, that's all I got. Water temperature still in Jack's right now, 60. Crescent Beach, 58, I believe. Daytona, I saw 62. Flagler, 63. So slowly but surely, guys, it's creeping up, and then we'll really be into some wicked fishing. A lot of pompano, whiting, redfish, and drum will be cruising the surf. So with that said, guys, mark your calendars, second week in March. We'll get a timeout. It's going to be preferably in the morning. That way everyone will have their whole afternoon free to do whatever. Maybe go fish, bring some rods in and fish after we're done. And we're going to try to get the sinker guy out there. Maybe he'll have some rigs and such. So if you're coming and you need Sputniks or Bruno rigs, he sells them, and you can buy them right off of him if he comes. So we look forward to it. Y'all guys have a great weekend.